Hi everyone. In this video, we are going to review simplifying fractions and how to make sure that you are writing your answers in simplest form anytime that you're working with fractions, unless it's stated otherwise. So at the top, we have just a reminder. A fraction is in simplest form when the numerator and denominator cannot both be divided by the same value. And then we have a non-example with 10/20ths and an example of simplest form with 4/5. We are going to look at 10/20ths first. Because 10 and 20 share factors, there's several that can go into both of those, the numerator and denominator. In order for it to be in simplest form, we would need to divide that down. So 10 can go into 20. It's always good to check if your numerator can go into your denominator first before looking at other numbers. Because 10 can go into 20 and 10 can obviously go into 10, we're going to divide the top and bottom by 10. 10 divided by 10 is 1. 20 divided by 10 is 2. So 10/20ths and 1/2 are the same thing, but 1/2 is the fraction in its simplest form. It's been simplified all the way down. 4/5, 4 cannot be divided into 5, and there's no factor that they share other than 1. And if we divide it by 1, that wouldn't change anything. So there's no other number that can go into it, so this is in simplest form. All right, we are going to do some together. Just as a reminder, it's a really good idea before worrying about other numbers to see if your numerator can go in to your denominator, because if it is, then you just found the greatest common factor. So we're going to check. And when you're checking factors, you're free to use a calculator. It's actually encouraged. It makes the work go a lot faster, and it makes sure that you're actually getting them right. So don't feel bad about using a calculator. So 4 can go into 52, and it can actually go into it 13 times. So we can divide the top by 4, the numerator, and now we can divide the bottom, the denominator, by 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1. 52 divided by 4 is 13. So 4 over 52 is the same thing as 1 over 13. But 1 over 13 is that fraction in its simplest form. All right, the next one, 20 over 35. Again, we can check. Can 20 be divided into 35? It can't. It doesn't go in evenly. But if you're thinking about these two numbers, there is a factor that they share. They can both be divided by 5. So I'm going to divide both by 5. 20 divided by 5 is 4. 35 divided by 5 is 7. So its simplest form is 4 over 7. Okay, we're going to do some more. Example C, 9 over 18. We check. 9 can go into 18, so we know that that's our greatest common factor. 9 divided by 9. And 18 divided by 9. 9 divided by 9 is 1. 18 divided by 9 is 2. So that's 1/2. Example D, we can check. 8 can't go into 20. They share a couple different factors. We could divide by 2. We could divide by 4. I'm going to pick 2 because I want to show you what to do when you didn't choose the greatest common factor that they share, and you'll need to reduce it down a couple times. So 8 divided by 2, 20 divided by 2. You could also divide by 4. 8 divided by 2 is 4. 20 divided by 2 is 10. Because both numbers are even, I know that they still share a factor and can be divided by 2 again. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 10 divided by 2 is 5. So it's 2/5. You also could get there by just starting by dividing by 4. Eight divided by 4 is 2. 20 divided by 4 is 5. Either way, you get to the same answer. Sometimes when you're working with numbers, you can tell they're both even, but you're not quite sure what greatest common factor they share. Dividing by 2 just breaks it down into smaller numbers that you can work with a little easier. So you can get there either way. If you spot the greatest common factor, then use it. If you don't, use smaller factors, but just keep dividing down, keep reducing it down until you get to where you can't reduce down anymore. All right, example E, 20 over 30. Both of these can be divided by 10. 20 divided by 10, and 30 divided by 10. 20 divided by 10 is 2. 30 divided by 10 is 3. 2/3 can't be reduced down anymore. All right. For this one, I would like for you to pause the video and do examples F, G, and H on your own. When you're finished, click play to see if you did it the same way I did it. All right, welcome back. I hope by now you've completed examples F, G, and H. I'm going to do them with you. We're going to see what you've got. All right, looking at 24 and 28. 24 obviously can't go into 28, but we did check. You could start off by dividing by 2. I'm going to actually start off by dividing by 4. 24 divided by 4 is 6. 28 divided by 4 is 7. So this is 6/7. Example G, 24 over 36. Right away I'm noticing that they both are multiples of 12, and they share 12 as a greatest common factor. 24 divided by 12 is 2. 36 divided by 12 is 3. 32 over 44. I'm going to do this one, the multi-step, just so you get to see it again. They both are even, so I'm going to start out by just dividing by 2. 32 divided by 2 is 16. 44 divided by 2 is 22. They're both still even. I could still divide by 2. 16 divided by 2 is 8. And 22 divided by 2 is 11. 8/11. And that is how you simplify fractions.